West Virginia basketball might have lost tonight, but West Virginia football pulls off a huge win with a top 5 Juco wide receiver, number 1 rated Juco in 247. What a win for the West Virginia Mountaineers. They get a blazing fast wide receiver out of the portal, out of Juco.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers on the football side of things today, and I'm glad to be doing so. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. This is the number 1 sports podcasting network in the world right now, guys. Really excited to be part of the Locked On Podcast Network. And we can say that because we get more views than everybody else combined. Pretty big deal to be a part of that, and I'm very proud to be. I decided not to be alone for this one. A lot of you guys were asking for him earlier. He's unbeatable. He can't be stopped. He's having Thanksgiving friendship with his family right now. Jackson Johnson.
How you doing today, good buddy?
Doing good, man. So I played you some video of the player that West Virginia got. So obviously we're going to be talking about it. We'll be talking about Jackson's world of college football as we dive into some of the results around the country from yesterday. And Jackson is the expert for that, as he pays attention to every single game literally going on. Not only that, but he knows the call. He knows everybody that's on the plays, the play-by-play. He knows everything. And all that. And then obviously we have to talk about another speedster for West Virginia. Not only did West Virginia get a commitment from a number 1 overall Juco wide receiver, but they also got another top 5. I think he's rated 2nd or 3rd. This kid's name is Kedrick Triplett, but also Keon Hutchins is the other guy that we got maybe a couple weeks ago. I can't remember exactly how long it's been now, but so they got 2 of the top 5 Juco wideouts in the country. And then they also had a visitor from the number 2 running back Juco yesterday, or the day, or maybe it was today. But we're going to be looking at a couple clips of the running back that'll just blow your mind. You want to talk about speed. This is Richrod, vintage Richrod, just insanely fast players. We're talking about Steve Slayton type speed on the running back. We're going to get to him too, but we start with the wideout. And Jackson, I showed you a couple of plays of him. What were your thoughts?
That man's bringing out the genjutsu on his opponents. That's what he's doing.
Remember, you got to explain to my audience what that is.
That's a reference from Naruto. That's a anime show. But my sister got me into watching that a few years back when it was on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix, though.
It probably is. All right, so who is Kedrick Triplett, or Kedrick Triplett? 6'2", 205 pounds, committed today, the November 23rd, to the West Virginia following an official visit to Morgantown. Obviously, this is over Utah, Arkansas, Nevada, Liberty, and others. He also had Houston, TCU, UCF, Virginia Tech. Everybody wanted this kid. West Virginia gets him. 247 Sports has him rated as the number 1 Juco wide receiver in the country. Obviously, if you look at On3, they've got him in the top 5. So he's right there at about an 88 score. So you're just a couple points away from being a 4-star player, but he's positionally ranked number 1. So that's what we'll go with for now. Obviously, this is a tall, well-built, physical receiver with impressive speed for his size, timing out at 4.35 in the 40, which does allow him to win at all levels of the field. If you look at him, he really thrives in jump ball situations. He's got really strong hands. Watched a couple of plays where he catches it in double coverage, makes plays you really shouldn't make. He's got great body control, but his acceleration is what really sets him apart. He absolutely turns on the jets and separates on slants, posts, any kind of play like that. If you're throwing him a slant or a post, he's got a shot to take it the distance. He is from Alabama, and he's shown productivity in JUCO play so far this year with 25 catches, 400 yards, and 5 touchdowns across this season so far. And he's averaging nearly 16 yards per catch, including a couple 100-yard performances. His frame suggests he can probably handle physical Big 12 coverage based on being 6'2", 200. Logan Bradley led this recruitment and closed it up, just today. Obviously, after the offer went out in September, the official visit kind of sealed the deal here, I'm told. He's going to be an inside wide receiver, guys. So they're probably going to play in multiple positions due to his size and speed, but he's going to play inside, which gives West Virginia a really dynamic slot option. And he's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. He's set to graduate in December, probably going to enroll midterm in January, which will give him a full offseason of spring ball to integrate into the offense. On a scale of 0 to 50, my hard edge meter. And as you know, we scored across 5 categories that I come up with based on their profile. And so obviously we start with speed, Jackson. A 9.2 on a speed, 4.35 in the 40-yard dash, and topped out at 22.24 miles per hour, which is elite burst for a bigger receiver, Jackson.
Man, he'll cheat up like a jacket.
Absolutely. If you look at his route running, it's pretty crisp. He's not doing a bunch of crazy stuff, but what he does well. His crisp breaks and stems. Obviously, he's able to create separation on the intermediate routes. On the hands perspective, I'll give him an 8. I think he's a really solid pass catcher with focus on high pointing balls. He's also pretty good through occasional, whenever he loses the ball in traffic, he's good there. Physicality is an 8.5 at 6'2", 200 pounds. He's really stout, which helps him bully smaller defenders and really snag 50-50 balls. I think he's ready for college physicality, obviously.
Oh, he is.
After the catch, 8.8. He's a really powerful post-catch runner with good vision and elusiveness. He breaks a ton of tackles, man. He really, truly does. So,
I mean, especially
really
that one play where he's like breaking 2 tackles, where he's like 2 men are trying to get him, but it's like they can't stop him from getting a touchdown.
Yeah, he's definitely tough to bring down. It's something he does extremely well. So,
I mean, when I say he brings out a genjutsu, I mean he brings out an absolute genjutsu on defense.
Absolutely, buddy. For those of you who don't know what a genjutsu is, technically, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's a term from anime. It basically means you trap somebody in their own. You're making them hallucinate. Like it's kind of like he's like a ghost. Obviously with Keon Hutchins, that's a big get for West Virginia, and a ton of speed at the wide receiver spot, y'all. This is big. It really is big. You've got 2 guys that run 4.3 or so in the 40 at wide receiver coming in. Richrod loves speed, and it's not over. There's another one as well. They're trying for the number 1 JUCO running back. They're trying for the number 2 JUCO running back. They're sending out several 5-star offers to 5-star players, 4-star players. Listen, there's so much support behind what Richrod and company are doing right now. I think we're going to see some things this upcoming offseason that we've never seen in the history of the program. I got some whispers today. Somebody told me this. They said the people that they're able to go after right now because of the influx of money, although it's not the best, they're identifying the guys they like and they're going to pay them. And that's just flat out what it is. So some of the players like a Kevin Brown, obviously. We're going to see a couple more Kevin Brown type players come into this program, guys, this offseason, I'm told. Now, will they be up to Kevin Brown's level? I don't know. I mean, that's like most people agree he should be a 5-star player. I've talked to so many people that scout football that say they don't know why he's not 5 stars. I mean, he's literally 1 point away, so it's like, who cares? But, just shrugging my shoulders, basically, if you can't see me. So, okay. The O-line, and so I see a comment that says need an O-line and quarterback or skill positions don't matter. Well, that's the thing, though, Dustin. Think about it for a second, buddy. They're just not available yet. The portal isn't open for most Power 5 football teams yet. There are D2 players available. There's high school players available, and West Virginia's made a ton of hay there, obviously, in the offseason.
FCS players are available, I believe.
Right, but we don't really. Not that we don't want them. They just be okay. You better be can't miss, because they are out there. There are can't miss players from FCS. Don't get me wrong, but they're few and far between, especially in the trenches. So,
the portal is technically open for 30 days on Cal's end because they just fired Justin Wilcox.
That's true, and that's something we could probably bring up at a look, guys. The quarterback from Cal, however you say his last name, is going to be one of the hottest commodities on the market if he goes into the portal. And Pat McAfee's already openly talked about him on his show. So we're going to definitely speculate about that on a future episode, so stay tuned. Got to get that clip from McAfee, but it'd be fun to play a little what-if game, right, on that one. And I'm going to do my best to tamper in that situation. I'm just kidding. All jokes aside, though, back to my point for Dustin, there's nobody available for them to get yet. That's it, right? So they can't go out and get offensive linemen yet. So they're getting the players that are available. I mean, yeah, you can go offensive line in JUCO if you want, but I mean, I think West Virginia is going to load up on much better players than that. Obviously, I think they need one or two really elite offensive linemen, and I think they're going to go after him this offseason. I really do believe that with all my heart. All right, let's go to break, guys. We're going to talk about the number 2 JUCO running back. West Virginia's offered him. He is an absolute Steve Slayton fast kind of player, guy. We'll show you that after the break, along with Jackson's World of College Football. Stick around. And, of course, this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends at Wayfair. Right now with Wayfair, the holiday season is right around the corner, and that means it's time to get your home ready. Whether you need seating for guests, cozy new linens, or fun serveware for holiday hosting, Wayfair's Black Friday sale is here to make your space shine. Best part, you don't have to wait. Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long with up to 70% off from sofas to spatulas. I couldn't believe how fast everything shipped, honestly. It was just in time for the holidays, and I've still got a couple things coming that will be here by then as well. Don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale up to 70% off. That's WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December 7th. And we're back with Jackson Johnson in segment 2. He's going to crack a water dew. I'm not going to finish off an old dew I got here.
There you go. Got a little Fiji dew tonight.
A little Fiji dew for Jackson. All right, so let's jump into this other breakdown really quick, and then we'll get on to Jackson's World of College Football. Martavius Tay Boswell is a sophomore running back. He's currently playing for Copia Lincoln Community College in Weston, Mississippi. He is from Fort Worth, Texas, where he attended Southwest High School, where he showed a lot of promise as a multi-positional player. He played running back, cornerback, strong safety, free safety. He's 5'10", 170. He is compact. He is speed-oriented. He is really ridiculously talented, guys. I can't wait to show you these couple clips. He classified in 2026 recruiting cycle as a JUCO transfer prospect. And so that means he's going to have 2 years of eligibility remaining. His high school background includes track, where he was an incredible track runner at 10.38, guys. 10.38 100-meter dash is freaking insane. A 10.38 is insane. Like, that's almost Olympic. So, and he runs a 4.36 40-yard dash. He also runs a 49.2 400-meter yard dash. He benches 250. So he's got solid strength relative to his frame as well. And he is dominated, earning the Mississippi Association of Community Colleges Offensive Player of the Year award. And he's got the Player of the Week award several times as well. He rushed for 1,100 yards, 110 yards a game. at an impressive 8.5 yards per carry, scoring 13 touchdowns. And those stats led the National Junior College Athletic Association in touchdowns and total yards, and second nationally in yards per game and yards per rush, which is why he's one of the top JUCO prospects in the country, the number 2 JUCO running back in the nation. And ESPN on 3 also have him very high up there. He's got over 31 Division I offers, guys, but they're all lower level for the most part. Marshall, East Carolina, Florida Atlantic, Southern Miss, Tulsa, Kansas State, Mississippi State, and West Virginia do have offers out to him. But this is a player that if West Virginia can land him, I'm telling you, this is one to watch, guys. This kid can really run. We're going to show a couple clips here that I have that he gave me permission to share. So here we go. I just call these are 3 tiny little clips. We're going to watch the first one. This is a long run, and you can see on this play here the elite speed that he brings to the table. So here it is. It's a handoff, stutter step, bursts through this hole on the outside zone, and just absolutely torches everybody. It's not even close. He's 10 yards away from the next closest guy. We'll watch it one more time. As you can see, the little stutter step bounces that thing outside, and he doesn't need much, and he can make you pay. And what speed this guy has. Very impressive stuff there. This is a closer up video where he makes a catch and does an incredible spin in traffic, and then he's cutting inside the whole way, making people look silly. So let's watch that one over again as he catches it in and then makes a spin move and then another spin move and then cuts inside on the defender, making people just reach and just working his way towards the end zone. And then the third play, just another great run from him, straight up the middle, bounces it to the outside, gets to the outside hash numbers, and absolutely dusts everybody by 15 yards. And they were even with him there for a second, and he just pulls totally away. I can see the 10.5 speed on this guy in the 100 meters. This guy has elite speed. There's probably maybe one player on the roster for West Virginia that could even come close to this guy. And I'm telling you, this would be one for West Virginia to get. This is the perfect running back for Richrod's offense. And in my opinion, if you get him, I'm going to be through the roof happy because I love these kind of players because especially if they hit, it's life-changing in some ways because it always helps to have those players that can break it off in one play, Jackson.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, he's like making magic all over the place.
Absolutely, and I'm happy for it. Obviously, he posted earlier today. Let me get it pulled up here. What he said. When I'm going to read what he said. I do have a breakdown on him as well, so we'll do that really quick. Hard edge meter, I've got him rated high, guys. I'll just let you know. I've got him at a 9.8 in speed. If you run a 10.3 in the 100 meters, you're extremely fast. That's almost Olympic speed, and some probably be Olympic qualifier maybe speed. I have to go look. I haven't looked in a while, but they used to be Olympic qualifying speed, anything 10 or less. And he's right there at 10.3, 10.4. So you could probably, get there close. Power is not necessarily his thing, but contact and balance is. And I gave an 18.8 or an 8.6. He really punches above his weight too with that 250-pound bench press. That's pretty good for a guy that's 170 pounds. Vision, which is finding the hole, decision-making, 9.2. He's really excellent at reading blocks. As you saw in a couple plays there, he's really good at reading the hole, especially on the zones. He bounces that thing out and just attacks the hole, and he really maximizes yards, which is why he has such a high yards per carry. Elusiveness is at a 9.5. He makes shifty cuts. He's got great balance, and he shines in the open field, and he's got a history of highlight reel returns, especially in punt return. He does that too. And he's versatile. He can do receiving. He actually loves to get his nose in there on pass pro. If you go look at some of his tape, he fits his nose in there and tries. And also he's a guy that you can probably play out as a scat back. This is not a workhorse back in my opinion. But I give him an 8.9 in the versatility. Athlete background. Upside as a pass catcher too. You could probably put him in the slot, do damage.
He's amazing.
He's a gadget player that could, that you could do a lot with. But generally speaking, this is a player that I think you could love to have, and you give him 8 or 9 touches a game, maybe 10, and see what happens. And if he can handle the load, you make him a workhorse. But I don't see that. And so this could be a big pickup for the Mountaineers, guys. So we'll see what happens with this player going forward. Martavius Tay Boswell. Let's go to break one more time, and when we come back, what happened to the Big 12 this weekend? Jackson Johnson tells us just that. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Right now with Game Time, guys, it's pretty simple stuff, isn't it? College football's back. We're in our last game of the season coming up, and I couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, the rivalries, the energy is in the stands. There's really nothing like it, and let's be real. Actually, getting tickets can feel a lot more like the battle than the game itself. There's endless queues, there's hidden fees, there's prices jumping at checkout. It's why I use Game Time. It's the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at best prices. And there's no surprise fees at checkout. What you see, what you pay. I pulled up Game Time, and in just a couple taps, I saw amazing deals. If you're talking about your favorite college football games for as low as $25. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. That's promo code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off today. Swipe, tap, ticket, go download Game Time today, and ask yourself the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. We're back with Jackson Johnson. He's unstoppable. The Marshall offensive coordinator, as you see his colors, he has on the Kelly green shirt. Jackson, take us through your world of college football. There was some pretty wild stuff on Saturday, especially in the Big 12.
Oh, man. So it started out with Arizona just smacking Baylor off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
41-17 fashion. Man.
Yeah, this is a weird one because they just gave Dave Aranda another year. So, and Mac Rhodes has stepped down as the athletic director. It almost seems like, I don't know, I'm not there, but it's almost like he's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Like, I want to make a change. They didn't want to make a change, whatever. But I think another thing you have to look at is if you're a lower level program, like not lower level, but a medium level program, like even West Virginia would be in this situation. If you're in a coaching change year, do you want to be up against Florida and company and teams like that for jobs? You may as well just keep who you got for another year, and hopefully next year it'll be better, because there's no way. You got Penn State with an opening, you got Florida with an opening, you got LSU with an opening. Ole Miss could come open if Lane Kiffin leaves, which I think he may. Lincoln Riley could, like, their coaching carousel is going to be all-time insane. So just making a point about Baylor. What else you got, Jackson?
And we've got Central Florida winning 17-14, where they scored 17 points only in the second half against Oklahoma State.
What game?
Central Florida, Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what a crazy game. And obviously UCF coming back to win this game, whatever, but just Oklahoma State can't get it done. They fought all year to try to just win a game. And once again, here they are. Just, you thought they were going to win one, but they just didn't play good in the second half.
No, they didn't. And Iowa State completely obliterated Kansas on Saturday.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This isn't the same Kansas team we played, that's for sure. Matt Campbell looks like he's going to win 8 games again at Iowa State with one of the less athletic budgets in the country. Like, he does a lot with not very much. It came out that they had the least money to spend in an NIL again for the second year in a row, and here they are. They do the most with the least, guys. Matt Campbell, I swear, he hasn't taken jobs, and he has not left Ohio State. But goodness gracious, man, like if I was a big-time program, he's the guy I'd be looking at. I mean, I think if you give him a big-time athletic budget, there's no telling what he could do, Jackson.
He'd be astonishing, man.
Lance Leopold having a rough year here at 5-6 with the Jayhawks, but they're still, I mean, bowl eligibility for Kansas is probably acceptable, although the expectations have risen there. Interesting game. What are your thoughts on the next game?
Oh, man. Arizona State, you want to talk about a disaster. Colorado has, of course, been a disaster all season.
Yep.
As Arizona State has smacked them 42-17.
Yeah, I watched this game. I have a buddy that covers Colorado, and I said this yesterday on another show, but Colorado has 6 coaches that have never coached a snap of college football before this year. Warren Sapp never coached a game in his life of anything. And I think that Colorado's made the bad decision of hiring names rather than coaches. You go get a Pat Shurmur. He's not even calling your plays anymore. Warren Sapp, is he a great all-time top 5 defensive lineman? Absolutely he is. The dude ran a 4.8 40 at 300 pounds. But at the same time, does it mean he can coach the game? Can he keep guys motivated? It's one of those things with great players that not always make great coaches. Usually average or bad players make great coaches. So I don't know. Not that it can't be done. I'm just singling him out because he's such a big name. But yeah, this was a weird one for me. And here's the other part of this. Colorado, late in the, before the game got out of hand, when they were still in it, I think they were down a score or 2, maybe 2 at most. I can't remember now. Their best player, well, not their best player, but their best running back in Dallin Hayden, who had 10 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown in this game, was playing really well. And for whatever reason, I don't know why. I have no clue why, and I didn't really care to check after the game, but Ronald Coleman, who had never played in a snap of football in his entire 2-year career, gets a carry late in the 4th in a game they're in and fumbles on his only carry he's ever gotten. Are you going to fall asleep, Jackson?
Nope.
Okay. I thought you were falling asleep on me there. But yeah, so obviously that was another one that I was like, what the hell happened? So
it's just been a disastrous year, and I think Colorado is ready for 2025 to end. But TCU Houston, that was a good one right there. TCU wins 17-14.
Yeah. Yeah, Hoover throws 3 picks in this game, and that's kind of what he is. He's feast or famine. Houston's defense once again plays well, which is part of their identity. Wigman had 15 carries for 114 yards in this game. Manjack had 9 catches for 95 yards, but he plays for TCU and not Houston. So it's like a mind meld because Manjack used to be on Houston. Yeah, it was a weird game, but I mean, big win for Sonny Dykes, who'd been under some pressure there. Houston's still having a great year in their second season at 8-3.
True.
What's your next one?
The next 2 ones are unbelievable. Utah, Kansas State was wild.
What a wild game.
Oh.
What did you think about it?
Oh man, like that's the thing though, is like Utah is still alive for a race for a playoff berth.
They are. They need a lot of help, but yes, they are. Devin Dampier, that late run, man, you just knew they were out of it, right? I mean, it was 7 minutes ago. It's 47-37 Kansas State. After Joe Jackson, who I'd never heard of in my life before this game, goes for 24 carries, 293 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Like, where in the hell did this guy come from? And absolutely torched Utah. Kansas State's playing so well right now, and they still lost this game. And Avery Johnson had a nice game too on the ground. But yeah, Devin Dampier really put this Utah team on his back. And what a game for him rushing the football, as Dampier had 94 yards and 2 touchdowns on 14 carries. What a win for the Utes, man. I mean, they really showed a lot in front of their home crowd. And then they really gamed Kansas team. Kansas State team.
Man, that was a crazy finish. Now all Utah has to do
is hope for BYU to lose.
Well, yeah, in order to have a shot at the playoffs, but they need to beat Kansas on Black Friday. It definitely doesn't hurt for the ACC to kind of eat each other out, like where Pitt will upset Miami. Virginia Tech can pull off an upset over Virginia. And who knows? I mean, like that ACC race is complicated, but Ohio State definitely has to beat Michigan for Utah. And they're definitely hoping for Auburn to pull out some magic against Alabama.
Yeah, which you don't want to see that.
No, not on my end. But I know it wouldn't hurt for Utah to be pulling for Tennessee against Vanderbilt, and they're definitely pulling for LSU against Oklahoma. See, I mean, like this team is basically hoping and praying. They're living on a prayer, like Bon Jovi, man.
Right. What's the last game you got for us, brother?
The BYU Cougars and the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Yep. BYU, man. Obviously, I watched every second of this game. They're just a tough football team. I said it on the show I did yesterday on College Sports Insiders with Troy from Mountaineer Moment. I said, if I could have a choose to be the kind of team that BYU is as a West Virginia fan in 2 years, I would. They're not flashy. But, dude, they've got a running back that's 40 pounds that absolutely crushes people. LJ Martin, in my opinion, is the best running back in the league. Now, Joe Jackson had a great game yesterday, and I don't want to take anything away from him. But, I mean, Andrew Bowie had 280 yards in a game for West Virginia at one point in time or whatever that was. So, and he wasn't all that, you know. So, like, running backs can have a big day. But, you know, LJ is the guy, man. He makes them go. Playing with a bum shoulder, he had a great game yesterday. I think it was like 180 yards or 222 yards. That's what it was. Yeah. 2 touchdowns. Brendan Sorsby, I thought was really game in this game. All those different arm angles he throws from looks really good. I think he's a pro quarterback, Sorsby. But yeah, so Bachmeier was steady in this game. You know, he had a decent ground game, 14 or 13 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown. But as a passer, he was 15 to 25. He really just made timely balls. But, you know, they didn't need him in this game because even though the score was close late, it really never felt like Cincinnati was in jeopardy of coming back because of that BYU defense. And, man, were they good up front on this day. I mean, you look at Keanu Tanavasa, he was involved in several plays. Isaiah Glasker and Jack Kelly were running around everywhere. Balatu Satawala was everywhere. Darian Alexander was just shutting dudes down, and Tanner Wall was smacking people from the back end. So this BYU team is for real. I just think that Texas Tech is more for real. But, you know, you never know what will happen with West Virginia this coming week. And I'll never say never.
Cincinnati has not won a game this month.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a month ago you thought they had a chance, right? And this is the curse of Scott Satterfield, at least what he's been up until this point in time, Jackson. He's been a 500 coach. He's kind of like Neil Brown in a lot of ways. He was a former App State guy. You know, a lot of those App State coaches have done well. Eli Drinkowitz has done well. But, yeah, for the most part, I think Satterfield has had a great first half of the year and just didn't close it with a tougher schedule down the stretch.
Man, it's like I was telling a few people that I know over the past few months where it's Satterfield's always going to disappoint you. If you're hoping that Cincinnati's going to get 10, 11 wins, you're not going to see it from Scott Satterfield. You're just not. And unfortunately, I'm proven right.
Yeah. You've been down on Satterfield for a while.
I actually
Timothy,
want to see him do well, but it's just
right.
his track record just is yuck.
That's what he does when he's on the field. He's going he's looking at the plays. He's going. Hey, Timothy Green, hope you're doing okay, brother. I hope you Rocky Mountain spotted fever or something I have not heard of from tick bites, but yeah, man, I hope you feel better. He says hello, Jackson Johnson. We've got Drum Wolf saying hello to Jackson Johnson.
What's
Mr.
up,
John
Drum
says
Wolf? What's up?
Mr. John says Jackson needs a Mountain Dew. Jackson's more popular than I am on my own show. Love you guys.
Mountaineer Paul is the host of Locked On West Virginia. He makes.
We're going to give it to Jackson now. We're just going to turn it over to him. All right, guys, we got to bounce. Thank you so much for being on here. We're a little over here, so we're going to bounce. But thank you so much for coming on, Jackson. You can find on the Voice of College Football, Alabama. You can also find him over on the Jacksonian. You can also find him on the Paul Feinbaum Show weekly on his call-ins. And if you haven't had enough Jackson at that point, go over to SEC Live on the Voice of College Football and check him out, where he'll be just making magic, as he likes to say, with his co-host.
Lucas Hill. Oh, yeah. He and I are going to be rocking and rolling right after I get done with Crimson Tide Live. Yeah, as we get ready at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right, brother. I think that ice cream you ate earlier kicked you in the gut because you were getting a little tired on me there. I seen you.
Yeah, it's like note to self: no ice cream before podcast appearances.
It's all right, brother. I understand. I was going on. That told me I was talking too much. I had to just give it back to you.
No, you're good, man. You're good to go.
All right, we love you guys. Hopefully you have. There's too many H's there. I was going to say, hopefully you have a happy Thanksgiving. There's like so many H's. Hopefully you have a great holiday, obviously for you and yours. You know, I pray that you have somebody to eat with. If not, please reach out to me. Honestly, I mean this. I'm not just lip service. If you don't have anybody to talk with, or if you don't have anybody to eat with, please contact me. I'll make sure you get food or whatever you need for Thanksgiving. It's the time of the year where people need love and attention. So if you don't have any, just hit me up. I'm always here. I want to help my community, and you can find me at Locked On West Virginia, obviously. You can also find me on X at Paul Mountaineer, and as well as a bunch of other places. But for the most part, those are the main two. And if you want, you can also email me as well, which I think my email is it's ROCKELPAUL0@gmail.com. So just rewind that if you need to email me, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great holiday. For Jackson wants you to roll Tide, but I'm telling you not to forget to cue those country roads. Good night.